So if you're in a franchise business where you go out and you do proposals for people or quotes, or you sit and have appointments with people to make a decision rather than people just coming to a counter and buying from you. So if you've got a bit more of a sales process in place, the part that most people forget, which is where you're going to really increase your profitability, is follow-up. I was once told by someone, they said, the fortune is in the follow-up. That a lot of people are leaving money on the table basically because they're not following people up. So what are your procedures? What are your policies? How do you schedule your follow-ups? You know, do you have something in place to make sure you're following up on your quotes or your proposals or any appointments you may have had? I have a little rule for myself. I never leave an appointment without the next appointment set. Now that doesn't mean if I've sat with someone and had a cup of tea with them and I've talked about coaching that I've got the next appointment set where I'm going to sit with them and have a cup of tea. But I have basically the next contact set. So if I sit with them and they say, yeah, I just need to think about it, I go, great, I understand you need to think about it. How long do you need to think about it? Do you need to just think about it overnight? Do you need a couple of days? They might say to me, hey, you know what, I probably need a week. I say, great. If I haven't heard from you in a week, is it okay if I just give you a quick call? And they'll say, yeah, that's fine. But what I've done is I've scheduled the next appointment. So when I'm following them up, I can ring them and say, hey Mary, it's been a week since we last met and you said that if you hadn't contacted me in a week, it was okay for me to give you a call. So as promised, I'm giving you a call. Now it does two things. One, it means it's easier to follow people up because you're not just sort of calling saying, hey, just wondering if you've made a decision. And you might have called them in 24 hours, but they need a week to make a decision. The second reason is that I can then say to them, as promised. So I'm showing them that I'm a person of my word. I've said I'd call them and now I'm calling them. So if you're not yet having a procedure for follow-up, I'd really highly recommend it. I really recommend the setting of the appointment before you leave the appointment. That always works well because it takes away all those icky factors, I suppose is how I would put them, of when you're having to call people and follow them up. But if they know that you're going to follow them up, it makes it so much easier.